Hey guys, shout out for not trying to impress you guys with my things, but I'm gonna start doing creepypasta readings on creepypastawiki.com. This is Super Mario 64 creepypasta related to it. I'm gonna read this word for word, and also just so you know, Fat Plane is gone forever. Blocked them. They make stupid videos, so whatever. No one cares about them. But anyways, this is Super Mario 64, and I'm going to start to read it word by word. So I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but it's going to take quite a bit. So here we go. I always liked Super Mario 64 when I was a kid. I remember playing it at my aunt's house all the time. Well, one day a pop-up appeared out of nowhere as I was watching gameplay footage on YouTube. I was a little startled, and I was about to close the window until I realized the website was showing a mint condition copy of Super Mario 64 for sale. There's a picture and everything. I usually don't trust these things, but the feeling of nostalgia overpowered me, and I wanted to buy it. The whole business was peculiar, seeing as how the owner of the game wanted the buyer to send an envelope containing $10 to the address on the site instead of using something like PayPal. What made things even strange was that when I tried to gain access to the website, I wrote down the URL. After encountering problems with the game, the page was nowhere to be found. A few days after the $10 was mailed, I got the package containing the new copy of the game. The first thing I noticed after I found the sticker of Mario 64 flying in the air was peeled off with something, and there's a piece of duct tape with Mario written crudely on it. Okay, I'm not really gonna read this word for word now. With a permanent marker, and I felt a little ripped off, but as long as the game worked, the player didn't care. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit. Hang on. Oops. I got my N64 and put the cartridge in. The screen was familiar with the face where you could stretch and twist. I remember laughing all the time at the results as a kid, and instead of mess around for all time's sake, I moved the cursor to pull Mario's ear to elven proportions. I was going to do the same with the other ear when he started reducing a lot of static, and Mario's head twisting demonically and deforming in weird ways, like as if it couldn't do it because the model was not allowed, it wasn't possible. Random sound effects were playing through the static, and the player could hear a faint voice in Japanese, whimpering and stammering. He shut off the game and tried to design and did not bother with Mario's weird head, and he selected the file and played. After he selected the file, the game skipped Peach's monologue, and he just went to the side in the castle. But Bowser did not say anything when he went inside, which is really weird, and he tried to ignore it and played anyways. And there was no music inside, just dead silence. There wasn't any Toads to talk around. The only door I could enter was Bomb Battlefield. The other doors would not respond to my button commands. Okay. The portrait of Bomb Battle was in these pictures. It was stark white canvas. I was trying to convince myself that they were just minor glitches and won't affect the gameplay at all. When he entered the portrait, the level changed to the lethal lava lamp head. You know that one. Slightly unsettling image with the flame with the evil smile. Yeah, and now he thought the game was getting really weird, and he was getting suspicious. The mission, instead of Big Bomb on the summit, the mission was called Turn Back in capital letters. I don't know. He doesn't know why he pressed A, but he just did it. The level seemed normal. How I remember enjoying my favorite child, but then he saw Luigi, and he was shocked. He was never in the game. His model wasn't even a power swap. It was a completely new, original model. And Luigi stood there until I tried to approach him. He started running at unexpected speeds. I followed suit and went through the level. Strange things happened when I pursued him. Each time I picked a coin, enemies with music would get slower and series would get darker and more morbid. It kept getting worse until I collected the fifth coin. The music stopped. The enemies lied on the ground as if they were dead. I was freaked out, but I kept chasing Luigi. went up the hill. No cannonballs rolled over, knocked people. Was really surprised. Luigi was just always out of my sight. One time, he saw a small cottage, and Luigi was nowhere found. And the cottage was certainly a weird thing to find in Mario game. It's all plain. Regardless of his fears, he entered the castle. After the door closed, he saw a disturbing picture of Luigi hanged. Immediately popped up with a very frightening scare chord. Sounded like a violin screech, accompanied by a loud piano banging. Mario had fell to his knees and sobbed / cried for 5 minutes, and then screamed eyes out. He returned to the castle. Mario slumped out of the painting. The image from the level off land to a portrait of the image of Luigi hanging on himself. The room was different this time. It was a small hallway with toads with blank expressions and white robes. And there's a painting that scared him. It was a picture of the family portrait of the player. He realizes now that that's not weird. That's weird. That's not normal. So, okay. So he went to switch off the N64, and there's no way I was playing. He says he's not gonna play it. However, when I flipped the switch, the game was still on. I flipped it back and forth, but to no avail. I tried to plug in the whole system, but it never lit up the screen. I was still even able to control Mario. That's weird. And he went to onto the photo of his family and jumped in and said, "Let's go." And the level is called "Run, Don't Walk." The level started with a flood with platforms, and a black blob was chasing Mario. And every time the Mario would get caught up with darkness, and eventually he just got consumed and he died. He fell into the plane. He lost one of his 3 lives. The room was different now. Some of the toads were gone. The painting looked different. My family was in this, but the bodies were partially decomposed. That's nasty. And yeah, regardless, he jumped in the painting again. Mario was in a small room. There was only one mission available. It was called "I'm Right Here." I selected the mission and prepared for the worst. Mario landed in a small dark room. There was no visible way out. The room was empty except for a piano in the corner. I knew what that meant. I was stuck there with the mad piano. I approached it, chasing me as well as there was no way to damage it. I could only let Mario die, pretty much. When Mario lost all his health, his death animation did not happen. But the piano mauled Mario and he fell on the floor as blood and guts had spilled on the floor. It's nasty. A distorted version of the merry-go-round used from Babe Ruth's Haunt played at the screen, slowly transitioned from the in-game shot of the realistic sketch of Mario's dead body as same view as the shot. It was very unsettling. I was crying softly as I gazed over the image. I lost another life. Okay. The photo was shown again of his family. It was rotten and war. The view zoomed into the camera like I was warping. I was greeted with a shot of Peach's castle outside. The castle was crumbling in ruin. The fields were set on fire. The sky was pitch black, and many small children were chanting the phrase "You couldn't save her," and Bowser was heard laughing. This went on for a long time until a close up of Peach's face, accompanied with a really extreme loud screech, interrupting the loop. Peach's mouth opened wide as she was sleeping, and her eyes were completely black holes. Ugh. Suddenly, as I was back in the hallway, Mario was again ejected out of the painting. Now all the toads were gone. Me and my family looked positively repulsive. Maggots were wrangling around the holes in our guts, and flesh was spilling on our body. My dad's eyeball was hanging loose from its socket. It was so much to bear, but something urged me to trudge in. I jumped to the paneling with only 1 life remaining. So on the screen it would say 0. Okay? This time there was no name for the missions, just this blank space where the trial would be. I selected the mission. Mario landed on a very small island in the middle of the ocean. There's a sign that said dive, so he entered the water. The ocean was dark and empty. There were no fish. I wasn't able to see anything in the water besides Mario. I swam downwards quite for a while. Yet Mario never ran out of breath. Weird, because Mario would usually just die. Okay, So after 10 minutes, I counted roughly 10 minutes of swinging it and decided to go back up. And I turned around, a huge Unagi the eel came out of nowhere and into all Mario ult. I was dumbfounded. It was so fast, I wasn't even sure what I saw. The game over screen did not show up. All that happened was I fade out. The fellow of my family were shown again, and they were playing skeletons again. Once again, it looked very real, and I couldn't move the camera. I just stayed focused on the camera. I shut the game off and turned it on again. I chose my file, but it just went to the skeleton photo of my family. I tried 3 more times before giving up. I desperately wanted to stop, but the force kept me from working away. I decided to select any other save file. The camera once again focused on the skeleton photo, but this time they were in different positions as if they were a different family. So what do I think about this creepypasta? I think it was very well made. It's kind of weird though. How would the game know what your family looked like? But that's all. That's the creepypasta. I will see you in another video. Goodbye, guys.